Hello everyone, welcome back to Paddling Pool 205. I am Spy, joined here by the chili of the chili of the chili boys. We're just gonna add chili to every set now, okay?
Well, this is the last one we're doing together, so there will not be any more chilies today. But we were just talking after that last set, Spy, weren't we? And you mentioned the QR meta days from Split 1.
Yeah, like we just saw the Tri Nouveau going like all for the Tacticooler, and it was actually really interesting because that was kind of a setback to Splatoon 1 meta, and I feel like the Splatoon 1 meta would be such an enjoyable meta in this game because right now the specials are more focused on displacement. Like we see Kraken, which is also kind of displacement because it gets a lot of people out of the way. It's not really focused on really getting a lot of splats, but rather just to get displacement. And that would actually be really interesting because aggression mixed with displacement would actually be so chaotic, but like in a good way. And that's why I would kind of like to see a QR meta, like a tactical meta in this game, which was not overpowered.
Would be perfectly appropriate with a Splatoon 2 ending with Chaos winning the Splatfest, wouldn't it? To see that kind of a constant onslaught and back and forth and revenge killing, and that's how I associate Splatoon, because I used to be run speed T-Tex back in the days of Splat 1, where abilities were horrendously imbalanced, damage up was on everything, and stuff like that. So I'm all for Chaos. I'm all for switching it up, and that was a fantastic set to watch. So yeah, I thought quite interesting that we both had that kind of just sentiment of Splatoon 1 QR meta days, just kind of showing in a new form in that set. This is Sanguine Seas versus Lapin Red. So again, best of 3 teams fighting for their lives here to progress, and no second chances if they lose this exchange. Rainmaker and Undertow. I absolutely love this map mode. I think there's so many creative ways you can approach a push.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I also love about Undertow is just kind of, it's that map that is kind of hated in other modes like zones, even though I love Undertow zones. But it's kind of cool that this one checkpoint is really close to the mid, but it actually leads to a staircase that is really risky. So you kind of have to play around and get to the left, while that's kind of a longer way. It actually gets you more kind of ways to get in, and I actually love that.
Yeah, and I've seen people before start their push on one side, and then because of the circumstances changing, just completely deviate over to the right. Lapin Red did really good to get the opening pop, and they have took advantage of that map control. It looks like they are taking the left route, and they're not wasting any time at all, breaking the checkpoint. But 3 players going down, and then that Junior getting a beautiful bomb kill. And are they going to try and push it further? They did try to, but they are going to be punished now by that. A beautiful booyah bomb stopping them sneaking there. I thought we were going to see a kind of cheese play reminiscent to when the sloshing machine pinched the Rainmaker in mincemeat.
Yeah, I mean, that was really kind of funny how I feel like that Junior, if they had gotten the pop, that would actually have been huge because that booyah bomb was in their way. But I feel like it was just kind of a better opportunity for Lapin Red to kind of back out of this because the Junior was the only one left, so Sanguine Seas has a lot of time to kind of catch up. Well, there are 2 booyah bombs going down on the same path, and the 2 people on Sanguine Seas actually go down, so Lapin Red has actually another opportunity to push in this.
Somebody really wanted to get a kill there, getting double booyah checked at someone. That is very, very harsh. But yeah, I think Lapin Red have generally been coming out on top of most of these exchanges. Sanguine Seas have been good at getting picks and kills, but they're not seeming to be able to regain much map control. It seems to be there's really good responses from Lapin Red in regards to like revenge kills or just holding ground. That Hydra possibly doing a lot of work in that regard to make it a lot harder for Sanguine to make an offensive play. Beautiful protection there as Sanguine tried to do a flank, and it looks like now they're going to be stalling with a Rainmaker until more of Sanguine go down so that they can advance this push further.
Now it seems like Sanguine Seas just kind of relies on their specials as this is a choke point, and we actually see this unpinnable staircase again, which is also kind of risky. So it's just kind of a two-sided blade where both paths are really signed with its risk because there is an unpaintable area. But that's kind of the thing I love about this map, and it seems like Sanguine Seas would actually be ready to get on the push now while the T-Tech gets a pick on the sloshing machine, and the Hydra's is kind of far on the back on the right. It's kind of focusing on the people maybe trying to flank, while Sanguine Seas actually tries to get to the checkpoint, but it's kind of interrupted by the Booyah Bomb and the Tri-Strike. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely really good. I love the bomb from the T-Tech there, which allowed them to not to have that exchange not turn into a trade. I think it was the right move for the Rainmaker to step back here, because those triple ink strikes would definitely have splattered them. Oh, they're cornered there with a BR bomb as well, so it's not a fun time to be a Queer right now. But yeah, I think what I'm struck by this match so far actually is just how good the triple ink strike is at painting. When we're getting that aerial view and we're seeing those triple ink strikes go off, just seeing how much map that claims if it isn't immediately painted over. I really have come to respect triple ink strike as a special after the damage buff in the recent patches. So that was Sanguine's first kind of showing of offensive potential. That definitely could have turned into a really strong push if they managed to just get 1 or 2 more picks. But now Lapin look like they're just focusing on trying to recover some map control, but Sanguine keeping up some really good offensive pressure actually, and they might be getting the checkpoint here.
Yeah, I mean, that was just like how I said that the right checkpoint is just kind of the safer kind of opportunity, while Lapin Red actually tries to defend this again, but they're being interrupted by quite a lot of specials again. Like, they have the second crab tank right now, and like there was the triple ink strike involved in this too. While it didn't really quite be enough for the lead, Sanguine Seas actually had a really strong push, and if they keep to continue this kind of offensive, they could actually really get the lead on this. But it seems like Lapin Red is really focused on defending right now, so the Rainmaker won't accidentally slip away or something.
Yeah, I think Lapin knows Sanguine. You know, Sanguine were getting a little eager and a little impatient there, just trying to kind of cheese to 29, and they did a really good job of just kind of expecting that and really making that impossible until the Rainmaker reset. So 20 seconds on the clock. If Lapin get on the board here, this will be a really impressive way to start and set the tone, because from a seeding perspective, Sanguine are considered the third seed for this tournament, and you know, a very well-respected threat. Languin are actually seeded 19th, but they've done incredible here so far. That being said, this is very scary right now. Sanguine have a numbers advantage and map control, and they know that Lapin will probably be panicking, but a little impatient there and penalised with a beautiful shot from that shooter. So Lapin are going to go 1-0 up.
Like, another thing about this, like, every route in Undertow is like kind of connected with risk, because we have the right path, it leads to staircase, the left path leads to staircase, or the grades, which are also kind of risky. But I actually love the grades. They kind of give more opportunity to go in on this. Like, I can't understand how Undertow Rainmaker is so well designed, and then we see the other maps. I don't get it.
Maybe they had a different person, just one guy work on Undertow, and then assigned some maniac to do the rest of the Splatoon map building. I mean, it is bizarre as well, because the Splatoon team have shown how well they can do maps. We've had some fantastic maps in Splatoon that had quite good balance in consideration of a range of weapons. So it's just very, very different tone in the layout what they've gone for in Splatoon 3 map. But I do understand why it's been a bit polarizing for the community. But I also think some of the problems slightly exaggerated sometimes. But I don't know, maybe I'm too relaxed, and because I don't do enough competitive anymore, maybe I'm just not seeing some of the problems. Splat Zone's Flounder height, though, amazing map mode combination. Hopefully we can all agree on that.
Yes, absolutely. I love Flounder zones. It is so well designed. Like, this is another case where the Splatoon, like the maps of the earlier Splatoon days, are really better than the Splatoon 3 maps. And Flounder is a perfect example for that. Like, it has a lot of height to it, like, it's literally in the name. And it has some good flanking options, like on the left and the right. They are expected, but once they kind of get to fighting and not really see that flank, that could be lethal.
Absolutely. I think there's so many creative ways you can approach retakes on this map. And even sometimes when the map looks completely flooded in enemy ink, there's still... you can sneak up one wall on one side, and suddenly you've got an in, because you can reclaim the enemy zone instead, for example, and then make your way back in from there. I just think there's so many ways you can approach it with so many weapons. Really interested to see what both these teams bring to the table. As I say, we should not count Sanguine Seas out by any stretch of the imagination. They are third seed for a reason. They are a really impressive bunch, but this is match point in favour of Lapin, and yeah, they've shown they are absolutely a force to be reckoned with. We are seeing an Explosher. I think that's a really strong pick, and we're seeing a Splatling coming out from Lapin. So we've got our anchors, and then we've got some really aggressive frontliners to skirmish.
Yeah, we have like the Splatling, which is kind of a perfect example of a displacement kind of weapon because it does deal good damage and its Wavebreaker is also really good for displacement, while the Explorer is more heavy and like kind of paint oriented, especially in zones, as it is a really great way to kind of paint and also do chip damage. While speaking of that, Lapin actually has the leading point right now, while Squash, the dualies are actually just kind of being on this, just kind of sticking to the wall. They're waiting for their perfect way to kind of flank, but that actually kind of went to be interrupted, and they just used the crab right away.
Yeah, that was very cute and cheeky, just hanging on that wall, to be honest. But then being forced to use that crab tank in an extremely unfavourable position. I do want to shout out Cappy as well. I don't know if this is me just being biased towards slosher machines as someone that used them a fair bit, but that double direct earlier to secure the zone the first time would just seem so casual, but was so well done. It wasn't easy to do from the angle they were approaching at the time. So Lapin have had a really strong opening here. 62 is not a bad start at all. It is really hard to wear the timer down on this map against two balanced teams, but Sanguine are regrouping. They're trying to go up as a group. There are two down now on Lapin, and the crab tank coming in. Ika pushing really deep to get that cap, and it's worked out in their favor.
Yeah, while they did get this kind of quick sweep through the cap, it seems like Lapin is just kind of being pressured right now, while it does seem like Squash, no, that's not Squash, that was, I think that was like the junior, yeah, it's the junior, just kind of sticking to the wall, like, that's kind of their thing, sticking to the wall in this, and they just waiting for their perfect moment to kind of push in, while Lapin is just kind of taking over right now and getting some map control back, which is really to their favor, and the sloshing machine actually jumps up, but it's interrupted mid-flight. No, that was not a sloshing machine.
No, I think that was the machine was the one who took them out. Yeah, splattered them midair as they were taking off. That was tragic. That was absolutely tragic to watch. Yeah, Lapin have done well to get a recap here because I was feeling that shift into Sanguine's favour. It felt like Sanguine were creeping further and further in and getting more and more control of the map. So Lapin have done really, really well to get the picks they need to recover here. That being said, Sanguine did get two down there, and I thought we were going to recap, but Squash unfortunately taken out. And now these ink strikes coming out in a way that might allow Lapin to push even further.
Yeah, while it does seem like it's really neutral right now, Lapin actually has the big bubbler open up right now, giving them more options to kind of push in while the teammates kind of just jump in. But Sanguine Seas actually has a really strong counter right now with two crab tanks and a rain. And we see the Splatling absolutely pressure, but is able to jump out, while Sanguine Seas actually works down their way to the penalty. As the junior on the left is actually pressured by two people right now and is kind of backing out, but actually gets picked right at the last moment, which is really tragic for them.
Yeah, I liked Squash's positioning there, like holding the far right side, but then being ready to respond to protect their teammates. 1 minute 35 on the clock, so if Sanguine hold this and create more of a neutral situation, that is going to put a lot of pressure on Lapin. They are going to take the lead, but oh my god, Ika! Frantically trying to get around those multiple ink strikes there. Not going to quite work. So Lapin are going to get a very quick recap in response. They've got quite a hefty penalty of about 30 points to tick down, but from the numbers advantage here and the map control, very, very likely to possibly just take the lead back again immediately.
Now that Neo Splash was actually just kind of being at that left kind of point, where they were just throwing suction bombs, and it feels like that is kind of the good thing with Neo Splash. It's just giving some good opportunities to kind of give pressure to the enemy base, even if it's not like with a burst bomb. And Lapin actually has a good lead right now, and they actually work down the way of the penalty. And we see the big bubbler being kind of destroyed by the crab tank, but it's still giving them options, and it seems like Lapin actually won this right now. If they actually won. They got the wipe out at the end too. Wow.
Very stylish to end it on wipe out, and I think If there's anything that is really, really standing out to me in the sets we've seen tonight, is that these buffs to like specials to damage the crab tank, they are really adding up. Crab tank is going from being this scary kind of insurmountable special to actually a special that is, you know, scary and strong, but actually can be pressured now in quite a realistic way. So a massive congrats to Lapin Red. Really, really impressive to take that 2-0 against Sanguine Seas. Congrats to Sanguine Seas on making it so far as well. Fantastic team. No, we'll see them again, and that they will be doing fantastic stuff, no doubt.
Yeah, really, GG's to both teams. And wait, Chili, I think we actually have to part ways now.
Oh, that is Travis,
so
this
tragic.
is so sad. I'm gonna have to comfort eat with my I've not had dinner yet, so I will comfort eat with KFC. But I mean, it has been a pleasure commentating with you, Spy, as always. You're always brilliant to be around. And we're handing over to the fantastic and talented duo of Broken Pinky and Pat J. So, Twitch chat, you are in very, very good company for the rest of the set, even though we sadly say farewell. Any parting thoughts or reflections, Spy?
And no, I actually just wanted to ask where people could find you, like, where do you exist?
I exist on the Twitter sphere. You can find me at chiliboy_splat. Not very original, I know, but that's how you can find me. So I'll be loitering there, retweeting stuff around Splatoon meta, maybe occasionally posting flashy clips of Tri-Stringer. I thought about starting to do that, but yeah, that's where you can find me. Where can we find you, Spy?
You can just also find me on Twitter at Dr. Spy LOL. I don't play League of Legends. I'm always saying that. I know it's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm just basically also talking about Splatoon, and I was just kind of, maybe I'm just posting some weird clips. Like I just got like one clip of me getting that later emote. That was really funny, and I also just did a tier list like a few minutes ago. And mostly I just do retweets of like funny Splatoon memes or something. Like I'm just full of memes, okay?
I can confirm that Spy does that, and it is. Alright, well, pleasure being with you all. Pleasure commentating with you, Spy. I am sure the remaining aspects of the tournament will continue to be thoroughly entertaining, and we will take a short break now while we hand over to Broken Pinky and Pat J, and then we'll be right with you for the remainder of the action. So, farewell from me, and we will catch you again soon. Any final thoughts, Spy?
Goodbye, and T-Tech is better than Neo Splash.
Of course, you end with that anarchy again. Alright, see you later, folks.
Yeah, bye.
Champions.
Champions
is going to be.
And that is game.
And that is lead!
Is the tournament.
Oh my god!
That's game. That was the anchor.
Splatoon Stronghold, a stronghold for competitive Splatoon, providing resources to long-timers and newcomers alike. If you're new to the competitive scene or still figuring out how to join, we have a getting started guide and plenty of other resources to help you in your journey. If you are a seasoned veteran, we still have plenty to offer. You can find and join tournaments as well as participate in our Captain Forum and find free agents and teams. Our mission is to make competitive Splatoon easily accessible to everyone. So what are you waiting for? Join the Splatoon Stronghold today.